Alright guys, welcome back to the channel today, and we had a pretty fun episode of Overlord today. I gotta admit, we had a lot. This episode was filled with a lot of political intrigue and a little bit of TLC. It was honestly a very fun episode. Unless you're Jircniv, of course. This man had the worst episode imaginable for him. But let's just kind of get in and talk about Overlord Season 4, Episode 3 today, because we got a lot of info, actually. So let's just get right on into it. So our episode begins today with Albedo getting a little TLC with Ainz, actually. Now, after 4 seasons of all her advancements, guys, it's actually kind of nice that, Ainz gave her a little kiss on the cheek, gave her a little hug. And I know a lot of people find Albedo a bit annoying, but honestly, after 4 seasons, guys, I'm used to her personally. It'd be weirder if she wasn't like this anymore. So to see Ainz kind of reciprocate these feelings a little bit, it's kind of nice. It's kind of nice, and it's pretty funny. I love how, as they're leaving, actually, Ainz is like, forget everything you just saw. You don't say anything about what happened here. I think it's kind of funny, Some character development, if you will. But let's get into kind of the meat and potatoes of our episode. And let's talk about the slane theocracy. Now, they're shook. To put it bluntly, they are shook about the events that have transpired recently in our series. How the Sorcerer Kingdom kind of just came out of nowhere in the battle between the Baharuth Kingdom and the Riastaz Kingdom, and just kind of wiped out one side completely. They're kind of shook. They're like, all right, what do we do against this monster? Like, what can we do? The whole world is in a state of, like, they're going crazy. They have no clue what to do against the newly formed Sorcerer Kingdom. So the theocracy said, all right, we had the Black Scriptures 1,000 Leagues astrologer look into the battle to assess what's going on. And they're like, wow, 500 Death Troopers. That's crazy that she found that. How can we beat anything like that? But then one of the mages actually says, like, wait a minute. There's no way this can be all the information, right? There's no way, because the 1,000 Leagues astrologer has shut herself in seclusion. She's become a shut-in now. She is terrified of the information she saw. You're not telling us everything, are you? And he's like, I kind of wanted and hoped that we would come to a conclusion before this, but here's everything that she did say. And they are all shocked by this information. They're like, wow, the Sorcerer King has a spell, a single spell that can kill 130,000 people. Like, well, there's nothing we can do against that. Even the Dragonkin or the Godkin can't do anything against that. Like, what do we do against this threat? And then they start talking about the events that have happened previously in our show. About how the Black Scriptures tried to control a vampire, Yoko, who I believe, if I remember correctly, was Shoutier in the first season. And they start talking about Jalbabath, who has attacked the kingdom recently. And they're like, those two plus the Sorcerer King, what are the chances of all these inhuman monsters appearing recently and wrecking havoc? Like, do you think that they could be working together? And then the head priest or the head mage is like, that's impossible. The Sorcerer Moment took out the vampire and fought against Jalbabath in the kingdom. So there's no way they could be working together. That would be the worst case scenario. Right, guys? That shit's so funny to me. And they're like, yeah, but Moment has sided with the Sorcerer King. Do you think it'd be wise to have them try to go against each other? And the theocracy decide, no, I think it'd probably be best for us to bide our time and not get directly involved in this. But then they mention the Empire, and you know, how the Empire is the only kingdom, really, that has acknowledged the existence of the Sorcerer Kingdom becoming a thing. They are the only ones that have acknowledged it. So they're like, alright, we need to talk with them and see what they know. We need to get some information out of them. And we just pray that that foolish emperor isn't wagging his tail too much for the Sorcerer Kingdom. And it's here that we transition over to Jircniv. And this man is having a bad day. Let's just say that. He's having a bad day. He is freaking out. After the loss of his greatest mage in the previous season, and the fact that all of his nobles and elites want to leave because they're scared shitless after the events of Season 3, he is in a state of dismay, to say the least. His hair's falling out, he's going crazy, trying to figure out what he can do to even survive against the Sorcerer Kingdom, let alone beat them. So he actually plans to get in touch with the theocracy as well. They have similar interests in this regard, you know, because his main objective right now is survival. He wants to live. They need to find a way to defeat the Sorcerer Kingdom. That is basically the whole world's agenda right now, to try to figure out what can we do against these monsters that have come. Like, what can we do to defend ourselves against them? So he plans a meeting with the theocracy at the Colosseum so they can discuss their options. And as they're going there, he actually hires the best adventurers in his city, his kingdom. Actually, the Adamantite group, what were they called? The Silver Thread Birds. And they're filled with some eclectic members, to say the least, you know. But they're adamantite, right? They have to be the strongest people around. There's no way they could just probably get one-shotted eventually, you know? Who knows? But they meet, and they're setting up the meeting in the Colosseum with the theocracy. You know? They're sitting there. He's like, all right, I want to make sure no one can eavesdrop. Everything here is of the utmost secrecy. We can't let any of this information leak out. Like, Silver Thread Bird team, you guys wait outside. I need you outside waiting in case something happens. And they do. So they set up the meeting. The theocracy come here. And he welcomes them with open arms, of course, you know. But they are very weary of the Empire. Because like I said, they have recognized the Sorcerer Kingdom as a place. And the theocracy is human supremacy only. So they're already weary to meet with them. But that just shows how shook they are about the Sorcerer Kingdom's creation. That they would meet with them. So they're discussing things, and Jircnev's like, oh, don't worry, we're here to just discuss our options right now. Please enjoy the show that I have for you right now. He's like, I have my greatest warrior in the Colosseum here right now to do a battle. He's so great, in fact, that no one else has dared challenge him recently. So we actually got a special random guest that we don't even know who it is yet to try to get people's anticipation and excitement up. And this scene was so hilarious. They're sitting there, and all of a sudden the announcer says, we have our guest warrior showing up. You all know him, the leader of the Sorcerer Kingdom, Ainz. And just to see the look on Jircnev's face when Ainz appears behind him in the air is priceless. He like shit his pants like right then and there. He's like, no way! How could he have figured out our plans? Has he been a step ahead of me the whole time? And the theocracy is instantly on guard. Like, did the Empire set us up? Like, how dare you bring him here when we're here discussing ways to destroy him? So they are instantly put off and they immediately leave. But before they leave, Jircniv begs them, like, please, at least stay in the Colosseum and watch his fight. And please tell me if you figure out a weakness that he has. Because they're scrambling, guys. They are shook. And Ainz, he's playing it nice, like, yes, Emperor Jircniv, it's a pleasure to see you again and all that. And Jircniv's like, yes, it is. And the funniest part about it is the fact that he thinks Ainz completely planned all this out, like, how he was 3 steps ahead of me the entire time. He knew I was doing this. And I guarantee Ainz just saw, like, there's a powerful fighters here. Let me come and participate in the festivities. I guarantee you some shit like that. Like I said, I'm not completely caught up with the light novels, guys. I'm not at this point in the books yet, so I don't know. But I can only assume it's something like that. And our episode ends with Jircniv begging his master warrior, like, please beat him. Please beat him. And it was quite a fun episode for everyone but Jircniv. It really shows you the state of the world after the previous battle we had, and that everyone is on guard against the Sorcerer Kingdom now. Because they know of the devastating power that Ainz has. And that wasn't even Ainz at full strength at all, guys. So he is a true threat to the world in their eyes. So everyone is scrambling to defeat him. But you guys let me know what you thought of this episode. Like I said, I thought it was a great episode that showed the insight into the world. And I thought it was kind of funny. I thought that ending was actually really funny. I was dying of laughter. And Albedo got a little bit of TLC, So it was a good day overall. So you guys let me know how you feel down below. But anyway, I hope you guys have a great rest of your day, week, month, and year. And remember, guys, just deuces and have a blessed day. Remember to smile and don't be like Jircniv. Don't pull your hair out. I'll see you guys next time.